Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. We've got a really fascinating, world-shifting topic to unpack today. Before we jump in, I want to mention right up front that this explainer is based on a fantastic article by Wonga Ntshinga. It's called The Era of Knowledge Economy and Fourth Industrial Revolution, The Need to Learn New Skills. I highly recommend you check it out, and you can follow him directly on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Wonga-Ntshinga-53B2922. Okay, let's get right into it. So here is our roadmap for today. First, a welcome to the 4IR. Then we'll look at South Africa's skills gap. Third, we're demystifying data and AI. Fourth, AI in the real world. And finally, adapting to the new reality.
Section 1. Welcome to the 4IR, the knowledge economy.
We are officially crossing into a brand new era, one that's driven by automation and robotics. And it's permanently altering the workforce as we know it. Think about it. In the past, the global economy relied heavily on mass, unskilled factory labor. But the future? Well, that belongs entirely to AI and data analytics talent. This really hits on author Martin Ford's crucial point. As artificial intelligence and robotics advance year after year, developing nations will have less and less need to build factories that rely on huge numbers of unskilled workers. It's a complete paradigm shift from physical labor to the knowledge economy.
Section 2. South Africa's skills gap, a stark reality.
29%. Let that sink in for a second. That is South Africa's unemployment rate. It is a really stark reality that grounds all this theoretical talk about the Fourth Industrial Revolution into something incredibly urgent. Developing countries like ours absolutely have to pay attention to these technological advances. Why? Because when you have an unemployment rate over 29%, you just cannot ignore a massive global shift in how the world hires and works.
But here's a crazy paradox that the World Bank actually identified. Despite that massive unemployment rate, there is a desperate, severe shortage of data analysts in South Africa. We're talking about the big 5 RSA banks, major consulting firms, Johannesburg Stock Exchange-listed companies, and absolute tech titans like Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, and Teradata. They all need data analytics professionals in huge numbers, and that demand is only going up. These companies are desperately trying to find, retain, and grow this talent. So the jobs are definitely there, but the relevant skills are missing.
Which brings us to Section 3, demystifying data and AI, understanding the buzzwords.
So you might be wondering, what do these professionals actually do all day? Well, fundamentally, data analysis is about collecting and manipulating massive, unstructured data sets to pull out useful information. A big part of this is data mining. That's basically taking a gigantic database, using specific tools to search for particular phrases or words, and then refining that search to find very specific records of interest. Essentially, it's like finding the hidden patterns in a massive sea of unstructured information and turning it into something we can actually understand and use. Now let's talk about machine learning. Author Bernard Marr gave a wonderfully simple analogy back in 2018 for how this actually works. Step 1. You input a massive series of photos. Step 2. You ask the program to process those images and identify, say, all the cats. And step 3, the program outputs reliable results. But here is the absolutely crucial point. The program can only do this if humans feed it massive amounts of learning data first. Machine learning isn't magic, you guys. It relies entirely on humans doing the heavy lifting up front to build those algorithms.
Let's look at Section 4, AI in the real world, beyond the screen.
How are these data analytics being used to solve real-world problems today? Well, let's start with retail and Amazon drone delivery. Retail giants are literally taking to the skies right now to drop packages directly to consumers via drones. Amazon uses complex machine learning algorithms combined with infrared sensors. This isn't some distant science fiction anymore. This is exactly what data analytics professionals are building today.
And honestly, it gets even more futuristic. Looking at the transport sector, next-generation tech like flying autonomous cars and shared Hyperloop trains are already on the horizon. According to F&B Wealth and Investments, these future mobility services rely entirely on these emerging data science skills to function safely and efficiently.
But hey, it's not just transport and retail. It's happening in education too. Researchers from the University of Plymouth, along with a few other institutions, published a really fascinating study in science robotics. They actually programmed a robot to progressively learn autonomous behavior simply by observing human demonstrations. Basically, a human teacher taught the robot how to help young pupils in an educational activity. The robot observed, learned, and was later able to support the kids all on its own, completely consistent with what the human teacher showed it. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, our final section. Section 5. Adapting to the new reality, the path forward.
With all this rapid change, how do we cope? We really need to shift our perspective and see the 4IR not as a threat, but as a landscape of incredible opportunity for those willing to adapt. As Fernando stated in 2019, developing countries must face the new reality, accept the job loss, and consider encouraging companies to move into new industries that emerge due to AI. It is an absolute necessity to accept these economic shifts. Honestly, fighting automation is a losing battle. The real key here is upskilling and improving the relevance of the skills we teach students so we can produce the highly skilled workers these new industries are practically begging for.
So where do you fit into this new knowledge economy? Remember, there is a massive opportunity in this space right now. As we saw with the machine learning example earlier, robots and algorithms will always need human assistance. They literally require human data managers to collect the data, design the databases, and write the algorithms in the first place. The jobs in this new knowledge economy aren't disappearing at all. They are simply evolving.
The jobs of the future are changing, for sure, but they aren't going away. The real question is, are you ready to evolve with them? To answer that and to continue your own learning journey, you absolutely must visit https://www.wongantshinga.com/podcast for more information. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Stay curious and keep learning.